Okay, so let's come to the top of your mat. Get your feet hip width apart. Lift your toes, spread them wide, place them back down. Stand up straight. Isometrically drag your feet towards one another. Engaging all the muscles of your legs. Take your upper inner thighs, rotate them towards the inside, and tuck your tailbone under, tilting your pelvis back. Lift your sternum high. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Rotate them towards the back. Let them kiss. And then just let them drift down your back. Take the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Tuck your chin a little bit. And breathe in and out through your nose. Begin to engage your mula bandhas, the pelvic floor muscles. And this will begin to build heat in your body. Add to those your Uddiyana bandhas, your lower abdomen, halfway between your navel and your pubic bone. And then add your Jalalahara bandhas. That is the glottis, the back of your throat. Begin to close that off so that your breath creates some sound. You should begin to feel some heat now. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Take your arms out to the side, all the way up overhead, palms together. And let your arms float back out and down. Inhale one more time, all the way up. Ease up, giving your back a little bit of an arch. And then slowly bring your hands back down. This time, inhale, arms up overhead. And swan dive all the way over. Bringing your hands to the mat or to your ankles. We'll be here for 5 breaths as you begin to stretch your hamstrings. And if you haven't done any stretching, do what you need to do. On your next inhale, come up halfway, gaze at the horizon. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead, palms together, and hands to Samasthiti, and then to Tadasana. Again, inhale, arms up overhead, pause here, grab your right wrist with your left hand, and begin to side bend to the left, bringing all the weight into your right foot. Try to lengthen that right arm by pushing away with your left. Keep your bandhas engaged. And next inhale, rise all the way up. Go over to the other side and side bend to the right. And 5, inhale, all the way back up. Swan dive all the way over. Pause here for a moment. And then on an inhale, take your left arm out to the side and then all the way up. Stretch here in the twist for 5 breaths. Maybe your shoulders can come vertical. And your 5th exhale, lower that left arm all the way down. And raise the right arm all the way up on the inhale. On your 5th exhale, lower that right hand down. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway, gaze at that horizon. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead. Hands to Samastitihi. And then Tadasana. We're going to do one more forward fold for 5 breaths. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. And notice how your hamstrings are behaving now. With each inhale, if you want, you can rise up, raise your chest a little bit, just to help your hamstrings. Each exhale, lift your hips up a little bit more. In your next inhale, come up halfway, gaze at that horizon. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead. Hands to Samastitihi, and then Tadasana. Okay, so now we get to the Namaskar gaze. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank and pause here. Five. Draw your upper arms towards each other. And on 10, come forward and down, all the way to your belly. Put your toenails down. Push into the mat, lifting your chest into cobra. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up and back into down dog. And walk out your dog. And 5, on your 5th exhale, at the very bottom, step your foot forward, coming forward into forward fold. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead, and hands to Samastitihi, and then Tadasana. Now, when you step or jump your feet forward, that should be at the very bottom of your breath. That way, you don't have any excess baggage or volume in your chest and your abdomen. Makes it a little bit easier. So now we have 3 more. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank and down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Three, 4. And on your exhale, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead. Hands to Samasthiti. And then to Dandasana. Again, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank and down halfway. Inhale, forward to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Slow down your breathing. Your next exhale, look between your hands, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up all the way, arms overhead. Hands to Samasthiti, and then to Sadasana. One more. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank and down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Four. And 5. Hop, step, or float to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead. Hands to Samasthiti, and then to Dasana. Okay, now we have Namaskar B. So we start on an inhale, drop your seat, raise your arms up into chair, Utkatasana. Drop a little deeper. Tuck your tailbone under. Your arms can rise a little higher. Reach your fingertips away. And on your 5th exhale, forward fold over straight legs. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Down halfway. Inhale, come to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot turns out, right foot comes forward. Inhale, up to warrior 1. Exhale, hands right back down. Step back to plank. Come down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot turns out, left forward. And inhale up to warrior 1. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Slow down your breath. And 5. Look between your hands. Hop, step, or float. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Listen carefully. Drop your seat on your inhale. Raise your arms up. Utkatasana. And continue to rise. And then bring your hands down to coming to Tadasana. Okay, so now we'll do another one, but we'll pause for 5 breaths for the warriors, and then we'll do a humble warrior. So on your inhale, drop your seat, raise your arms up with Utkatasana. Fifth exhale, forward fold over straight legs. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank. Come down halfway. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot turns out. Right foot steps forward. Rise up to warrior one and hold this for 5 breaths. And then on your next exhale, let your arms come down behind your back. Interlace your fingers, push your knuckles down, chest up, and exhale, forward fold. Bring your head and shoulders down to the left of your right knee. Your knuckles up towards the sky. Your gaze is towards the horizon in the back. And 5. Release your bind, hands come down towards the mat and rotate all the way back up to warrior one. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank and down halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog with that foot out, left forward. Coming up to warrior one on the left. Slow your breathing. Maybe increase the bend on that left knee. And 5, arms float down behind. Interlace your fingers the wrong way. Push your knuckles down, chest high. Exhale, forward fold. Humble warrior. And 5, release your arms, float down. Circle back up to warrior one. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Come down halfway. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. And 5, look between your hands, hop, step, or float. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, drop your seat. Raise your arms up to Utkatasana. Then continue rising all the way up. Lower your hands to Samasthitihi. And then Tadasana. Okay. Okay, so now comes Badakanasana and Hastasana. So from here, look between your legs, hop your feet to the edges of your mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Grab your big toes with your peace fingers and inhale, lift up halfway. Maybe you can see the horizon, maybe not. Straightness your legs and then fold forward, using the strength of your arms to draw your collarbones down, crown of your head towards the mat. The wide-legged forward fold. And 5. Release. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms overhead. Hands to Samasthiti. And then to Dasana. Okay, so now it's Hastasana. The palms underneath your feet. Preferably one at a time, unless you're a magician. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your palms underneath your feet. Maybe your toes can come all the way up to your wrist crease, maybe not. Inhale, stretch up as much as you can. Straightness your legs. And exhale, forward fold. Use the strength in your arms to pull your chest and the crown of your head down while you try to lift your hips up any bit more. This is stretching your groins and your hamstrings and your spine. And 5, release your bind. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms overhead. Hands to Samasthiti. And then to Dasana. Hop your feet together. And we're ready for Vinyasa. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Upper jump back to plank and down halfway. Inhale, forward, up dog. Exhale, down dog. On your next exhale, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms overhead. Hands to Samasthiti. And then to Dasana. Okay, now we come to triangle and revolve triangle. So to start, take a giant step back with your right foot towards the back of your mat. Both legs are straight. Bring your arms out into T. Make sure your chest and your hips are squared to the side of your mat. From here, gaze over your fingertips. Drop that front hip and begin to tip your triangle. With that right hand somewhere along the inside of that right leg. Your left arm goes up. Or if you have any issues, you can always bring that left hand to your hip. On your next inhale, rise all the way up into T. Just rotate your feet. Left foot faces forward. Drop that front hip and lower that left arm down into triangle on the left. Right arm is up or behind your back or on your hip. Whatever is in your practice. The goal here is to get your shoulder blades vertical. In 5, inhale, all the way back up. Rotate your feet towards the back of the mat. This time, adjust your foot locations. I'm going to do revolve triangle. So get your chest facing the back of the mat. And then rotate your chest to the right. From here, you can bring the right hand on your right hip. Lower that left hand on the outside of your right leg. Coming down into a revolve triangle. That left hand can go up in the air. Let it. And 5, inhale. Bring both arms back up into T. Rotate your feet to the front of the mat, adjust your feet. Bring your chest to the front and then rotate to the left. On an exhale, your right hand comes down, left hand goes up, and notice how different this side may be. Try drawing that left hip back. And 5, inhale, bring your arms all the way back up to T. Rotate to the front, hands to your hips, step forward into Tadasana. And you have an optional vinyasa here. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank, down halfway. Forward into up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lengthen your breath. And at the bottom of your 5th exhale, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead, hands to Samasthiti, and then Tadasana. Now we have side angle. So we're going to do side angle and prayer twist. So start the same, giant step back with your right foot and come into warrior 2. From here, bend that front right arm and bring the forearm to the middle of your thigh. And as you do, rotate your body forward, bringing your left hand towards the intersection of the ceiling and wall beyond your right foot. You're trying to get your shoulders vertical again. Your left hand is facing the floor. You have one straight line, left toes to left fingers. And 5, inhale, straighten that right leg up into T. Rotate your feet and then sink into warrior 1, 2 on the left. On an exhale, bend that left knee, left elbow, bring it down on your thigh, and then reach that right arm overhead and then towards the front. Really stretch that right side of your body. Use that left forearm to help get your shoulders vertical. And 5, inhale, come all the way back up into T. Rotate your feet towards the back of the mat. And then rotate your arms so that your chest is towards the back of the mat. Now you can modify your foot locations, but bring your hands together in front of your chest. And then rotate a little bit farther to the right, coming into prayer twist, bending that right knee, hooking your left elbow over the top of that right knee. And 5, release. Inhale, all the way back up, arms into T. Rotate your feet towards the front of the mat. Again, make any adjustments you might need in your feet. Bend that front knee, bring your chest forward, palms hard center, rotate to the left into prayer twist. And 5, release. Inhale, come all the way back up into T. Rotate towards the front of the mat, and then step forward into Samasthiti, and then Tadasana. You have another optional vinyasa. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step and jump back to plank and down halfway. Inhale, forward to up dog. Exhale, down dog. And 5, looking between your hands. Hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms overhead. Hands Samastitihi. And then Tadasana. Okay, next we have Prasarita A, B, C, and D. I just love the naming of that. On your next inhale, kind of step back with your right foot, but get both feet facing the side of your mat. From here, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale your chest high, then exhale, slowly come forward. Ultimately, you're going to draw your crown of your head down towards the mat. Your hands can drop to the mat whenever you wish. And 5, bring your hands to your hips. And then on your inhale, raise your chest up, all the way vertical. Walk your hands to the back of your hips. Lift your chest high, a little bit of a back bend. Inhale, and then exhale, forward fold, as you continually try to get your elbows to come toward each other. Now, that is not possible the farther over you go, but keep that sensation. You're opening up your chest by doing that. And using the muscles of your rotators to draw your elbows back. And 5. In your next inhale, use your elbows to help raise you all the way back up. Bring your arms out into T. Turn your thumbs down. Then bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers however you wish. Push your knuckles down. That will raise your sternum up towards the ceiling, gaze up. And exhale, forward fold. Prasarita C. Crown of your head goes down towards the mat. May never get there. That's okay. This is primarily a groin stretch. But there's a component of your spine and your hamstrings. And 5. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Bring your arms back out into T. Really reach out wide. Lift your chest high. On an exhale, forward fold. And as you come over, your hands can come down onto your legs. They can come down onto your big toe if they reach. There's no right way to do this. On your next inhale, come all the way back up. Bring your hands to your hips. To get out of this, heel toe your feet together, or just pop your feet together. Turn towards the front, step forward into Tadasana. We have another vinyasa, purely optional. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, hands to the back. Step or jump back to plank and down halfway. Forward to up dog. Exhale, down dog. And 5, look between your hands, hop, step, or float. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms overhead. Hands to Samasthiti. And then to Tadasana. I'm going to insert a few warriors here. Into its own little series. I'm going to do warrior 2, warrior 1, then warrior 3. So on your next inhale, giant step back with your right foot, coming into warrior 2. Now pay attention to your stance. Front knee is bent. Your left foot is turned out to the side. Shoulders are square to the side. Rotate your palms up. You'll feel your shoulder blades lower. And then too quickly, just flip your fingers over. Your shoulders stay really low. In 5. On the inhale, adjust your feet. Straighten out your legs for warrior 1. So your feet can come apart a little bit. Inhale. Lower that front knee. Bring your arms up into warrior. Your chest and your hips face the back of your mat. Get a little bit of a back bend, and then you're gazing up at the corner of the ceiling and the wall. And 5, release your arms. Now from here, just look forward, bring your hands to your hips. Maybe you can just blast off with that left foot, come right up into warrior 3. Now it doesn't really matter where your arms go. They can be out by your side. They can be out in front of you. And on your 5th exhale, lower that left foot down. Come into T, rotate all the way around to the front. Bend that front knee. And now you're in warrior 2. Facing the other side, facing the front of your mat. Do the trick with your hands. Rotate your arms so your palms are up. Then quickly flip your fingers. Notice how your shoulders stay low. Shoulder blades stay kissing. And 5, straighten your legs. Adjust your locations for warrior 1. Inhale, arms up, warrior 1. Draw that left hip back. Push the right hip forward so that your hips are square. In 5, lower your hands to your hips. Look forward, and maybe you can blast off directly into warrior 3, maybe not. This is practice, so if your foot comes down, you're not disqualified. In 5, bring your right foot to meet the left, into Samasthiti, and then to Tadasana. Okay, we have one more vinyasa. And then one more standing stretch. So inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank and down halfway. Inhale forward into up dog. Exhale, lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. You can walk out your dog. Drop your chest between your shoulders. And 5, look between your hands, hop, step, or float. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms overhead. Hands to Samasthiti. And then to Dasana. Okay, so next we have everybody's favorite. I know it's mine. Maybe not really. This is Uttita Hasta Padmasana. So from here, from Sadasana, lift your right knee up, weight into your left foot, grab onto your right big toe with your right peace fingers and straightenish that right leg. However far you go is good. And then maybe you can bring that right foot out to the side, maybe not. And grab onto that foot with your hand. You can grab that knee. You could use a towel that I forgot today to support your foot out to the right. But this is working on your hip flexors, specifically anyway, and then down. Okay, back to Tadasana. Okay, still on the right side. Lift your toes, spread them wide, bring your toes back down. Bring the weight into your right foot. Lift your right foot up 1 inch, then rotate that straight leg forward. Maybe you can get it all the way onto the wall in front of you. Keep your spine long. That will keep your balance. This is working on your psoas. And then from there, maybe you can keep that foot up, come directly into tree. Maybe not. Make sure that your foot is not half on your knee. It can be above or below, not on both sides. You can bring your arms up if you wish, and then 5, let it out. Step that out. Back to Tadasana. We have the left side to do. From here, weight into your right foot. Lift your left big toe up, grab it with your left hand, and straightenish that leg. It's remarkable how much progress we've been making here in the last months. 5, and then maybe you can bring that leg out to the left, maybe not. You can always just bring that leg out to the left and hold on to that knee. Make this into more of a balanced pose. And 5, release. Feet down, step that out. Weight into your right foot. Lift the left sole up 1 inch. Then just rotate from your hip socket. That straight left leg out towards the wall. And then Come to tree, or your version of tree. And this may be very different from another day. In 5, release. Okay, step that out. To relieve the tension in your hips, just make some big hip hula hoop motions. Okay, so back to Dandasana. We have one more vinyasa and we'll end up in Dandasana on the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or jump back to plank and down halfway. Inhale, forward to up dog. Exhale, down dog. And 5, hop, step, float. Just come down onto your knees and then into Dandasana. Okay, Dandasana. Your legs are straightish. Your heels are pushing away. Your feet are vertical. Your hands are next to your hips and you push into the mat. If your arms are a little short like mine, just move them back an inch or so that you can get some muscle into holding the upper part of your body a little bit higher. You don't want to take all the weight off your sit bones. But from here, inhale, and for 5 breaths, push your heels away. This is your hamstring stretch, your Achilles, core, spine, shoulders. And then release. Okay, now we have Padmasana, A and B. So from here, lift your chest high, and then exhale, forward fold, reaching for your toes with your hands, and draw your collarbones towards your feet. Draw the crown of your head towards the far wall. Your legs can be bent if your hamstrings are tight. In 5, release. Inhale, come all the way back up. And on your next exhale, forward fold again. This time, make a bind across the bottoms of your feet. Or just grab the outsides of your feet. Or whatever you can. Same motion. Collarbones towards the front of your mat. Crown of your head towards the far wall. Your gaze is down at your knees or at the mat. And 5, release. Inhale, come all the way up. From here, bend your knees, bring your footprints to the mat. Bring your hands behind your hips. Tuck your tailbone under. And on an inhale, lift your hips up into reverse table. Be here for 5 breaths. Isometrically draw your heels towards your hands. Push your knees towards the front of the mat, towards the far wall rather. And your hips will raise automatically. You can feel a nice stretch in your shoulders, in your arms, in your quads. And on your exhale, come all the way back down. Bring your legs out in front. From here, go into Janusasana. So then your front leg, your right leg, bring the sole of your foot into your left inner thigh. Lift your chest high. And on an exhale, forward fold towards that left foot. You can grab onto it with both hands. But again, you're trying to get your collarbones to the foot, the crown of your head beyond. Notice your right hip is that right knee is drawn down, both by gravity and by the other stretching body parts. 5, release, inhale, come all the way back up. And exhale, forward fold again. This time make a bind across the bottom of your foot. Now this is not a resting pose, this is a working pose. You're pushing your heel away as you're drawing your chest forward. Nothing in Ashtanga is a resting pose other than Savasana. In 5, release, inhale, come back up. This time, just lift your right foot up, cradle it, maybe rock it back and forth a little bit, and then see if that right heel can come to your left hip crease. This is a preparation for lotus, Padmasana. Now, if that doesn't work, you can bring that foot onto your thigh anywhere, or even back down as in Jhana, Sadasana, that you just did. Inhale, raise your chest high, and exhale, forward fold, maybe reaching the toes of that left foot. Make sure you're not feeling any strain in that right knee. That would indicate a twist. What you're doing here is you're rotating your femur in your right hip socket. And that's what you'll need to do lotus pose. In 5, release, inhale, come up. Straighten out your right leg. Bend your left knee, bring your left sole to your right inner thigh. Inhale, tall. Exhale, forward fold, reaching for the right toes. Push that right heel away. Draw that right hip back. Maybe you can get a little more space than you thought. In 5, release, inhale, sit all the way back up, and exhale, forward fold again. Grabbing onto the bottom of your foot. And notice your left knee. Is that going down any farther? Can you feel it in your left hip socket? And 5, release. Inhale, come all the way back up. This time, lift your left heel up. Move it left and right. And then maybe bring that over to your right hip crease. And don't expect that this leg is going to be the same because it had different histories on different sides of your legs. From here, forward fold, reaching for the toes of your right foot. In 5, release. Inhale, come all the way back up. Push both feet out towards the front. Bring your hands behind your hips. Just wave your feet left and right. This will rotate your femurs in your hip sockets, giving you a little bit of relief from that last pose. Maybe preparing you for our next pose of Marichi. So for Marichi, for all of you devotees, okay, bend your right knee and bring your right heel up close to your right sit bones. And there aren't going to be too many of us here that are going to look like the book, including me. But anyway, from here, the first is a forward fold. So right leg is out straight, your toes are up, Inhale tall and then forward fold. Maybe reaching for that left leg with your left hand, left foot with your left hand. Maybe that right arm can go around in front of your right knee, your right shin. Ultimately, this is a bind with your arms behind your back, around your right knee. 5, release. Inhale, come all the way back up. This time, bend your left knee. Bring your left heel in towards your left sit bone and bring your right heel back. Now, this is going to be the same forward fold. You may be able to get your shoulder, right shoulder in front of your right knee, maybe not. Inhale tall. Come forward. Now maybe that left arm wants to come around behind and make a bind. And 5, release. Inhale, sit all the way up. Release your left foot out to the front of the mat. Keep your right leg bent. Grab that right knee with your left hand. Use your right hand as a kickstand. Lengthen your spine. This is a twist. You need the longest spine you can have in order to twist. Inhale tall and exhale, twist to your right. Maybe that right arm comes over the top of that left thigh. Maybe not. In 5, release. Bend that left knee, bring the left heel into your right sit bone. We're going to do the same thing, just with your legs a little more compact. So use that right kickstand. Inhale tall, twist to the right, and maybe you can reach all the way around that right knee with the left arm, make a bind across your back. That is certainly a dream at this point. Maybe in another 3 months. And release. Come back to center. Both legs all the way out. Push your heels away. And then bend your left knee. Bring your left knee, your left heel up towards your left sit bones. This is Marichi A again. So maybe this side is significantly different, maybe not. Inhale tall, exhale, right hand goes for that right leg, left hand or left arm comes forward. Maybe it can go around that right shin or left shin. And 5, release. Inhale, sit all the way up. Bend your right knee, right heel to your left sit bone. Try the same thing. Inhale tall, pull forward. Then maybe you can make a bind across behind your back. And then on your next exhale, release. Bring that right foot all the way out to the front. Push the heel away. Left hand on your right hand on your left knee. Left hand is a kickstand. Inhale up. Twist to the left. And 5, release. This time, bend that right knee, right heel to your left sit bone. Keep your left knee where it is. Inhale tall, twist to the left. Maybe this time we can make a bind. The importance of this pose is the twist. And the amount of motion, the amount of movement you get in your hips. In 5, release. Come back to center. Push both feet forward. Bring your hands next to your hips. Bend your knees, bring your footprints onto the mat. And grab behind your thighs. I'm going to do 3 rounds of Navasana pose. So on an inhale, lift your legs up, chins maybe parallel to the floor. You can release your arms if you wish. And release. And then grab your thighs one more time. Straighten your spine. That's the most important part of this. Lean back with your spine straight, and then raise your feet up. And this time, maybe you want to straighten-ish your legs. Maybe bring your arms out to the side. And release. One more. Back behind, hands behind your thighs. And then on an inhale, lift your legs up. Release your arms if you wish. And 5, release. Well, we've come to Badakanasana. So from here, bring the soles of your feet together. Bring your heels relatively close to your sit bones. Badakanasana is another groin opener, but it's also a hip opener. Inhale your spine tall. And on an exhale, again, your collarbones go towards the front of your mat. Crown of your head goes towards the far wall. And pull on your feet, giving the right amount of tension to your groins and your spine. In 5, release. Inhale back up. Move your feet farther out in front. Inhale, spine tall. Exhale, forward fold. You can grab onto your feet again. You can bring your arms underneath your ankles if you wish. But again, the object is to get the crown of your head towards the far wall, not your chin to your knee, to your heels. In 5, release. Inhale, sit back up. Okay, we've come to Padmasana. So take your strongest side, and for Padmasana, lotus pose, if you sit with your legs crossed, that's great. If it's within your practice, or if you can do this for a little bit, maybe you can bring one heel up onto your opposite hip crease. And then just bring your other leg underneath. That's half lotus. Or maybe you can bring that other foot over the top of the other shin so that that heel is close or on your other hip crease. All is good. So from here, lift your spine tall, bring your arms out into T. Then bring your arms behind your back. You can make a mudra if you wish, or just grab opposite wrists, hands, or elbows. And then close your eyes and listen to and observe your body for 10 breaths as you begin to bow forward. Take the full 10 breaths to get as far as you can go. Feel each micro movement. Maybe you can catch individual muscle fibers releasing and the adjacent muscles picking up the tension. Observe your entire body. For what you feel may not be what you expect. And 10, take about 3 breaths to come all the way back up. And then bring your backs of your hands out to the tops of your knees. Make a mudra if you wish. Again, inhale your spine tall, crown of your head up towards the ceiling. From here, we'll be here another 10 breaths, but you can either have your eyes gazing off through your eyelids at the horizon, or you can bow your head in gratitude for the body that has brought you through this practice. Begin to deepen your breath. Open your eyes. Use your hands to help your legs come back to the front of the mat. Push your heels away. Bring your hands behind your hips. Roll your feet from one side to the other. And then come all the way down onto your back. Bring your arms up towards the ceiling and then rotate them down towards the wall beyond your head. And stretch from your heels to your palms, your toes to your fingers. Spread your fingers and toes wide and wiggle them. And bring your arms back either down by your side or out from your side. You can separate your legs a comfortable distance. Rock your pelvis one side to the other, finding the best place for your sacrum to rest. Stretch your neck long, pushing your head towards the wall beyond your head. Lift your head an inch, tuck your chin, and carefully lower your head back down. Take a deep cleansing breath into your nose and exhale it out through your nose. Take another cleansing breath in through your nose, out through your nose, and take rest. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into your space. Bring movement to your fingers, into your toes, to your wrists, and to your ankles. Gently roll your head from left to right. And when you're ready, walk your footprints up towards your sit bones. Draw your knees into your chest and give yourself a squeeze. Make some circles on the ceiling with your knees or rock from left to right. Make sure you go the opposite direction also. And the next time you come over towards your right side, pause there for just a moment in fetal pose, using your right arm as a pillow. And do a quick body scan and note any tension or stress that may still be hiding in your tissues so that you can address that later this week or later today. And then using the strength in your left hand, push the floor away, rise up to a seated position. Thank you all for sharing this yoga practice this morning. Thank you for motivating me to teach. And thank you for your thoughts while I was suffering from COVID. Take the compassion and empathy that you practice here on your mat, everywhere you go, and share it with each person you might meet. Namaste.
Namaste.
My name is Clint, and this has been Ashtanga Yoga. Thank you for coming.